Hey guys, it's Josh here from Pearl Lemon Games. First of all, head over to pearllemongames.com. If you want to try any of our video games, you can click this link right here and it will redirect you to our site for games. Also, if you're interested in finding out or getting our free guide and how to build your own video game in less than 12 weeks, just click the link in the description below for access to our free guide. So today I'm going to teach you on how to instantiate inside an array of game objects here in Unity. So first is we need to create two scripts. The one is for a scriptable game object and the other one is the one who's in charge of instantiating. So first we create the scriptable object. Just follow as I code. First is we need to remove this mono behavior and turn it into a scriptable game object. And then in the top part of our class, just enter a bracket and then create asset menu. And then parenthesis file name is equals to, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna name this into animals. The next is menu name is equals to animal slash prefab. And then next is we can remove this start and update. We won't be needing this. Declare a public enum. Object type. You can name this whatever you want. I'm gonna name it as object type and then brackets inside is animals, for example. And then call, declare the variable in this public enum object type and then cache it into an object type also public game object, for example animal prefab. Now we have our scriptable object. Save this one and open the next one, the one in charge in instantiating our game objects. Open our tutorial script and then in here in our above the start method, let's call the class name of our scriptable game object. I called it sample. And then the brackets, what did I call those game objects? Animal prefab. Animal prefab. And then in our start, first is we need to create a variable. For example, randomize prefab. So this variable is in charge of choosing a prefab inside of our array. So random dot range and then hit 0 and then the animal prefab dot length. So for example, we entered 5 of the length, then this variable will choose between one of those 5 prefabs. So instantiate, the syntax for this is instantiate animal prefab. Let's put in an S in there and then inside is randomize prefab dot animal prefab, the one we created in here. And then the position will be the default transform dot position and then quaternion identity. Why is this? Oh, I forgot to put in an S. And this should be random dot range, not random range. Okay, let's save this one and go back to Unity. Next step is to attach the tutorial, the second script on where the game objects are being instantiated. I've attached mine and I entered the number of elements. In my case, it's 5, so I entered 5. And then in here, in our project tab, just right click and then hit create. In the top part, you can see the one we created in our scriptable game object. Just choose that one. So in my case, it's prefab. So for example, this is cow prefab. And then just duplicate it and then rename those. So for example, duck and then pig and ship. Oh, I only needed 4 because this is a variant of that duck. So now it's pig, duck, cow, and sheep. Okay, so now we drag in this samples in the serialized fields. Oh no, wait. We first drag in the prefabs in this scriptable objects. Pig, duck, white, cow, and then sheep. Okay, now we have this 4. Now this 4, we'll drag it inside our serialized field. So pig, sheep, duck, and cow. Now let's hit play to see if this is working. Versus cow. Play again to see if this will choose another one. Sheep. And last one. Cow again. Let me see a third one, please. Wow. Just wow. Pig. Okay, so I think it's working. So that's one method of instantiating a game object inside of an array using a scriptable game object. I hope you learned something and thank you for watching.